In the documentary Minority Report, they were able to prevent crimes by, they had those psychics in that milk bath, and they were able to foretell the crime, the murder, and prevent it before it happened. So maybe we should do something like that. Maybe we could try that, see how that works out.
I think we should do that. If you disagree, put the number 4 to your ear. And by the way, you don't need a phone for that. If you have a number 4 hanging around like on a piece of paper,
just
really?
Put the 4 just write it down on the 4
right
on the paper, and then put the 4 on your ear.
You should tape it to your head, obviously, so it doesn't fall off.
Right,
that would be ridiculous. You take your hand off, and the paper would fall to the ground. You got to tape it. It might get in your hair, but if when you get through it, it'll be okay.
Well, blow on it and make sure it's dry before you put it on your ear. That would be my recommendation.
I was fascinated by the idea that there is something called a porno grind metal band. Did you know this?
No.
He was apparently the lead singer of a porno grind metal band.
Who was the Dayton guy?
The Dayton guy. Now, the porno grind genre, Pat, as you know, as a guy who's you kind of did the Grateful Dead thing in the porno grind industry, if I remember right, for a couple years. He just got in a van
and drove all around the country.
Porno grind concerts. Apparently, this is a genre of music. It's like heavy metal. And I can't say all of the story because all of it is horrible. But including the name of his band, I can't really tell you that, but I can tell you that they release songs about rape. Now, how many songs about rape can you name off the top of your head? I can name one, which would be Nirvana's "Rape Me," because I remember it being very controversial at the time. And then I remember Kurt Cobain saying, "It's an anti-rape song. It's not a pro-rape song." And it's like, well, we didn't think we were releasing a pro-rape song. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe people did. You could rape, murder. And then I know, like murder, you can come up with a bunch of them, right? There's a lot of songs about murder.
Yeah.
It depends on who you kill. Some of those songs really are very positive.
I shot the sheriff.
It's
a murder song.
Right. Like, and that's viewed as kind of a positive. You're on the side of the guy who shot the sheriff in that song.
Well, because he had it coming to him.
Yeah.
And it was in self-defense. So it was okay.
Yeah. The one I was thinking of was a Goodbye Earl, which was a song by the Dixie Chicks, where her husband seems like a dirtbag, so he kills her, kills him, and that was like you're cheering for whatever Dixie chick was in that particular arrangement. So lots of murder songs. Certainly, you can come up with just a few, and I don't know. I know you could name dozens, Pat, but I mean, in the world of gangster rap, you could probably come up with a couple that reference murder.
Probably,
there's a couple. Not as many though. When it comes to songs about necrophilia, I feel like it's a limited genre. There's not as many songs out there. There's not like a box set for necrophilia songs, but this band apparently had them, and apparently that's what this genre is. So that doesn't sound like a red flag at all to me. Like the fact that you're like, you know what, we're gonna our third single off the album is Necrophilia Nancy. If that's you. Wow. Maybe we just automatically put you in prison, but that's not really our system of government.
Or at least a hospital of some sort.
It does feel like a hospital stay might be
involuntarily committed.
Yeah,
perhaps. I'm just reading about the genre is related to and similar to gore grind, but minor differences from gore grind include porno grind having simpler, slower, and more rock-like songs. I'm telling you this as if you didn't know already. I apologize for talking down to you.
That was a little weird when you said it like that, but I guess you're talking to the audience.
Right, yes.
Because a lot of people, and if you don't know what porno grind and the difference between porno grind and the other genre we were just talking about.
Porn or gore grind.
Gore grind. If you don't know the difference, just dial your 4 on your phone. Number 4. Put it to your ear, and we'll tell you about it.
Now, as you know, the genre's pornographic theme is present in the lyrics and the album artwork, which would keep them out of most stores. So,
also, the terrible music would keep them out of most stores.
Wow.
Also, the fact that stores don't really sell music anymore would keep them out of most stores.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things working against it. The album, the artwork, and the fact that music is no longer sold in stores. Those three things are having keep it out of stores. Oh yeah, and also the crappy music.
Wow. Interesting though. I'm looking at the story of him, and he has a ski mask on as he sings, and wears a very attractive dress, which is adorable, or a sort of apron-like dress, kind of, and then maybe some shorts underneath. I mean, it's an interesting way to go for him. And you're right; it should have been a warning sign. There were a lot of warning signs with this guy.
You know, one I was completely stunned by, Pat, and so stunned I dialed the number 4 and asked questions about it. And here's what they told me: this guy was a hardcore leftist. I was shocked because, as you know, all
only
violence,
right-wing people kill people.
Right. That's the only one. It's the only thing that can happen because and certainly only right-wing people own guns. And in the interesting part about this guy is he had a really far left Twitter feed to the point that he was supporting organizations like Antifa, which these are people that are anti-fascists.
Yeah, right.
They just don't like racism. That's what they are. I've read about them 100 times in the mainstream media. These are people who, look, they're just standing up against fascism. And they don't like fascism or racism. Mm-hmm. And yet this guy was supporting them and wound up killing a bunch of people. What a weird, stunning twist. I mean, is M. Night Shyamalan writing the news? I don't know. It's so difficult to understand how someone could support an anti-fascist group that is just standing up against, racism and anti-LGBT treatment. Mm-hmm. And that person could wind up being violent?
Impossible to believe.
Impossible.
Seriously,
impossible to believe.